it over to Mr. McCaleb, and he's going to read our prayer list and lead us in prayer.
All right, let's remember Miss Hazel Gregory family. She was a former bus driver that has passed. Michael King, remember his family and friends. Mistress Kim Williams, his father is in the hospital. Dwayne Lambert family. Diana Shoulders, Joe Taylor, Scotty Lewis, Danny Clare, Mr. Jack Williams, Jude McCaleb, Courtney Taylor, Amanda Vaughn, John Pigg, husband of Donna Livingston. Is there any others?
I've got it unspoken.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you. We just humble ourselves in your mighty, awesome presence, God, our Creator, and thank you for who you are in our lives. This time of season, this year, next Sunday is the holiday, Lord, that we especially know that you are our Lord and Savior, coming down to death that you didn't have to, that you took our sins upon that cross. Thank you for that, and be with us tonight. Help us in this meeting to do the decisions that we do in a right way that would honor you, and we thank you for that. In Jesus' holy name we pray, God. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. We're going to get started on consent items. With the board members, board minutes of the last meeting, non-tenured teachers, and request permission to bid on services for formal satellite building, request permission to apply for Score Future Priority Innovation Grants, request permission to apply for the Gene Hoss Foundation Program and Smith County High School request. We're gonna vote on these one at a time.
Can I say something about B? You want me to get to it?
Yes, sir. We're gonna vote on these one at a time. Do I have a motion to approve consent item A?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Hold on just a minute.
Discussions? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? The second will be non-tenured teacher letters. Have I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? I think Mr. Smith, you wanted to say something?
This is a standard, the ones that's been on the board, you may get calls, it's just, it sounds rough when you get it every year till you get tenured, but it doesn't mean anybody's not gonna be rehired. So, it's just a standardized letter sent, but this, it goes in and takes, and we go back.
Any other? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Request permission to bid on services for the former satellite building. Have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Is our electronic voting not working?
Well, he's going too fast, and I'm having to try to catch up.
Okay, just slow me down.
Okay,
Let me know when you're ready.
so we are on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Who made the motion?
I did.
Yeah. Mr. Lewis and Joe, I think you seconded it.
Okay.
And is this one that come up, Tracy, what's this one that you
This
just,
is the current one, the
Sidewalk
sidewalk
building.
bid services.
can you take it down for a minute? I was still reading it. The,
This is just bids, correct?
This is just putting it out to,
Okay.
Is that gonna be one contractor do it all, Chairman?
They'll be separate, they're separated. depending
We have
on
a
the
person,
service.
we have one person that is our, I guess you call foreman for it, that takes care of all it, but there'll be
Okay.
several different people bidding on it.
I got you.
And, answer your question, Mr. McDonald, is just permission to put it out to bids. Nothing is being,
I'm in favor of that, yes.
nothing is being, done yet. It's just a matter of to start getting some numbers together. Anything else? If not, it was all in favor, right?
Yes. On that
All right, let's
part.
go on to, request permission to apply for the Score Futures Forward Innovation Grant. Motion,
I'll make a motion.
Tom. Second,
Second.
Mr. McDonald. Discussions? All right, George. Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Request permission to apply for the Gene Haas Foundation Scholarship Program. Motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Second.
Nobody made the motion. Who made the second?
Mr. Lewis.
You know, you can click on that and see it, don't you, if you wanted to. Yeah, got you.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Smith County High School request. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Joe Todd. Second.
I'll second.
Discussions? All right. Tracy? All in favor? Opposed? Superintendent's actions. You've all had a chance to look at that. And Mr. Smith would like to say a couple of things about his actions.
Y'all had asked me to check on the lighting. I met with the light guy, Chris was there, Mr. Apple was there. We're farther along in that than what I thought. But that quick, he's supposed to give us, he tell us exactly when he gets the number, the next week or 10 days roughly. And he's also got, Bonnell graciously donated, and we need to send them a thank you to the baseball team, Coach Apple, for granting. It was very nice, what they done, very expensive poles to do the netting. And that guy will also bid that to bore the holes, so that's farther along. So hopefully by the next meeting, this is not actually on the agenda, but I've been asked for different board members about the new Middleton project as far as paving. Do you want me to go about that as far as specking that, or do you want me to go ahead and get it drawn up to bid it? That's two, I didn't know exactly what the board's wanting to do there.
Well, you'd have to spec it before you bid it, don't you?
Yes, but I don't know if you want me to go ahead and do all that in the morning, and go ahead and get you a down the lights, get you a rough estimate of what it's costing.
I would like to have a rough estimate of what's everybody else's opinion.
Rough estimate. Is that gonna include barriers along that fence also?
What are they talking about?
Would that was?
Include barriers?
Where?
Well, you could include it, but that's not included in what we're talking about, but we can, we're gonna let it say, but we can't put that to bid.
Yeah,
Would you like that, Mr. McDonald?
I'd like.
I think we could do it ourselves a whole lot
Closer we
cheaper,
get
but
'em.
that's up to y'all.
Closer we get them to that fence, the more out they are to hit the fence, or make it easier to go through the fence.
Would you want that in the bid, or do you want just maintenance department to do it for free?
We can do it a whole lot cheaper, but it's up to y'all.
Well, let's do it cheaper then. It works.
You just want it done. If we,
I think it's needed.
yeah, if we proceed on with it, you just want it done. Okay, everybody agreeable with that?
I am, and I just want to say we've dropped this up 4 times, and I appreciate y'all taking action on it. I know Mr. McCoy brought it up 4 times, and that's a dangerous place over there.
Do we get whatever we needed back from the state, I suppose? We
Well,
have?
now,
That won't, we won't get no money back from the state.
No. We had to apply for a permit. Do we get the permit back?
That'd be the paper, but my understanding, yeah, they had.
Permit for the right of way,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Any other questions? superintendent's actions. Not, we're gonna go on to new business. First thing is the textbook adoption K-12 science. Motion,
I'll make the motion.
second.
Second.
Second. Discussion?
And normally that was one expense you got to talk about when I was asking you about later in the year that we did about $500,000 when they talk
Textbooks will
about.
come out in June.
Yeah.
Why is it such a long contract for 8 years? Is that
Standard textbook adoption.
the life book of the, is that about the life, that book itself? I mean,
It's just a standard policy through the state.
Is it-
Did it on adoption,
is it,
forever system, you know.
Is that money in the budget we're in now, or will it be in the budget for next year?
Both.
Both.
That's not been spent yet. That's one of the expenditures that won't be taken out until June.
We were thinking about it, I think
Well-
somebody had asked a question if we spent more at the end or most of the time it's, because there's different kinds of expenses and that was a big
You feel
expense.
tension in there?
That we was trying to think that we left out and why at the end of the year. About 500,000 money on it.
We have spent, I think, 45,000 so far, but the majority of it will be spent in June.
Does anybody go through those books and see what the content is? Does TSBA do that, or does somebody do that for us?
We've got the supervisors.
We scan them, we don't. And we've got different reviews on them that,
The state gives us a list of approved vendors. They go through all the vendors that apply, which is different textbook vendors. And so the state gives us a list of what we can adopt. And so then we, the schools, all elect a committee member from each school, each grade band. And then they come and we meet all throughout the year and review all of those books, all those textbooks. And then we allow all the teachers decide, they vote on which book they think is best.
Thank you. We've got some crazy textbooks in places in America.
Any other discussion? Now we'll have a roll call. Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. McHale?
yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Next item is TSBA 2026 membership dues. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. McDonald. Second.
Second.
Mr. Lewis. Discussions? If not, roll call. Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Ennis.
Yes.
Mr. McHale.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Manning.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Seven yes. Approval of the FY '26 budget and general purpose cafeteria. I thought we were gonna break these apart.
How do you want her, you should have had time to review them, that's what we had to call the meeting for. If you have questions about them individually, and you'd have a choice of the four there.
That's
and
the original,
what?
the original.
You've added the original.
And they were handed the original right before the meeting.
The
I'm
three
sorry,
that
I
you
didn't
had
put
the other
that in
night
there.
at the budget meeting and the original.
So I'm gonna do split these up, but let's get the cafeteria behind us first. And this will be bid just for the cafeteria only.
Which number is that?
What, he's just
He's wanting the cafeteria budget on first.
Yeah, the cafeteria only is all we're doing.
I'll make a motion, we present the cafeteria budget.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussions on that one? Okay, if, no, good. Any other questions? If not, Mr. Lewis,
We're there already? Okay. Yes.
Mr. Hassett,
Yes.
Mr. Eno,
Yes.
Mr. McHale,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Manning.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Self, yes. Now we will discuss the budget. On what we're gonna approve. Mr. Manning, you got?
Yeah, I want to say something. I've looked at our original budget, and I went through and looked at the option one budget. If you look at that option, which is, a $40.7 million budget. And then if you look at the option two budget, and thank Norma for going through this and trimming all these things down. And if you look at the option two budget, guys, you're looking at a $39.4 million budget, which is like a $1.3 million lesser than option one. And then if you go to the option three budget, it comes in at $39.2 million, which is a pretty good budget too. Now, it's been a while since I've done it, but I went through line item by line item myself and looked at some stuff, and by no ways am I knocking us or anything, but we always figure high. And anybody that makes a budget, you always figure a little high. And then what I was looking at, I found some things that we could cut some money out of too, because some things was figured a little high. And I went back and looked at the 2024 budget you provided us and what we'd already spent on the 2025, which I know some of the stuff has not come out of that yet. But anyway, I honestly think, guys, that we could probably run off of last year's budget. Last year's budget was $38.1 million. And I know Barry and Norma's probably going to kill me for saying this, but I was just bringing this up. I'd like to see an option that would just run off. Of course, we'll have to have the maintenance effort, which should be there. I think we ought to just propose to run off the $38.1 million that we did last year. And I don't know, we don't know, because the end of the year ain't got here yet, but I'm sure we're probably gonna kick some fund balance back into this thing. I don't think we're gonna spend everything this year. But we had some high stuff in there this year because we had the health gyms and stuff, which now we gotta spend some money on the Saber-Lock building to get it up. But I think it would kind of wash out when we could have some money to do that.
What we have to spend on the others, we're not going to again.
And listen, I'm one man and one opinion, okay? But I honestly think we could probably run off a $38.1 million budget. Now, that's my opinion. Norma's probably grabbing hold of the seat right now. I don't know. But I mean.
If I could, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
yes, sir.
Tommy, I did the same thing you did. Ever since our daughter's wedding this weekend, I've gone through this, gone through it. I don't see any reason, it's just my opinion. Everybody has a right to their own, and whatever it is, I respect it. But, we're not gonna go back to the commission and try to increase things. We're not trying to, we haven't, in 18 years, and we're not asking taxpayers money. And I've got every confidence that we can run off of the budget that we're in. And if we have some type of massive thing go down, HVAC problem or something like that, and we have to make an adjustment, every time we've gone to the county commission and had to ask for an amendment to our budget, they passed it. I don't know why they wouldn't, so that's the least dollar budget that we have in front of us, and I agree with you. I think it's fair.
Anyone else got any input?
What is our estimated income this year we're working off of?
If you take TISA, which is, and I'm just estimating, approximately 24 million, and county, which is approximately 6 million, you're at approximately 30. If you want to know exactly, you'll have to look on the revenue page.
What is approximate?
So approximate 30 million, approximate. But if you look, when you add everything up on page 2, see that one has the bonuses in it when you go to option 1. So if you look at option 1, page 2, it's 32.6 million when you got all the state grants and add everything in. So,
What is the most that this CTE would produce? Or would it produce anything until we get the Saber-Lock building? Any increase?
There would be no way to estimate that till you got it going.
What's the high projection and the low projection?
I'd have to do numbers before I commit to that.
How much involvement have we got in it now? Are we 50% involved, students?
200, like we said last time, we're 278.4 students, isn't that correct? Something like that. We're hoping to get 100% of the high school as our goal. So,
And if we get 100%, how much will that?
I don't know again. Can't tell you that.
You won't know, because it's also done in increments, like level 1, level 2, level 3.
It's gotta be based on your levels, it's gotta be,
Yeah, you don't know.
there's certain individuals can get up to 27,000. We would like to see the standard, any child goes through, would get a 5,000 bonus versus just a regular child, varsity child, student. But, and we're expecting that to increase, but we don't know, that's when you can't commit.
Well, could it produce $1 million?
Oh, yeah, it's gonna produce a million, I mean, in the millions, but we can't. And I could give you more of an estimate if I had time to prepare for it. But I'm not gonna throw a number right off the cuff, because I'd come back and bite me somewhere.
Did Mr. Towns send anything? I asked him for a printout of the kids and how many kids per school and what tier they are.
Mr. Towns, I think, got that for you, if you ask him for
Maybe
it.
he didn't, it's not here.
He is actually in a.
Tommy, what option was you?
Which
one?
Well, he had mentioned we was 85% of the students
These options.
in the high schools had at least one CTE class.
Why has electricity jumped accordingly?
So we're not gonna gain any more students, but we might can gain tier, get them in there longer would be the way to make money, I suppose.
And I think there's a tiered, industry credential now.
A tier
I think you gain more money, the higher tier you get in the.
That's what I'm saying, we need to keep them in there longer to make more money as to probably as much as the students, I guess. I was just hoping that would be broke down, that's what I was gonna look at.
But in the school's defense, I mean, we can't sit here and say X amount of dollars is gonna make, because you don't really know. You don't know what level they're gonna fall in and whatnot. But I agree with, with Mr. Smith, depends on where they go in their fall, whether you're getting 15 or 20,000 or you're getting 5,000. It just depends. You won't know until it gets there. But I am gonna say this, since I'm the elder board member sitting here, and I've been sitting here for 21 years. I have been through all these budgets, and trust me, we have not ran out of money yet. We got close a couple of years, but this board has not ran out of money yet. And I'm just gonna put that out there. I hear where you're spending too much, you're gonna break the county. We ain't got there yet. I don't think we'll get there, I'll be honest with you. I do not think we'll get there. Because, listen, guys, we ain't done it yet. We're pretty good for money. There's things on the horizon coming. I'm sure there'll be more money coming in for things. It always comes in every year. So I think we could run off a $38.1 million budget and go with it.
Can I ask you a question?
That's that.
You've been there 20 years,
21 years.
all right, and I just, to put that in perspective a little bit, of course, the county gives us, X amount of dollars every year and all that stuff. And I don't mean this towards I'm not saying this towards any county commissioner at all, because we haven't asked for an increase, you know what I mean? But put it in perspective, I believe, my uncle was director of school at the time, I believe that you would have been here
I went with him for
17 or 18 years since we've asked for an increase.
Yes, sir. 2000 and roughly 7 or 8, Mr. Lewis and I went to the county commissioners and asked for an increase, and we got an increase that time.
Okay.
That's the only time we've got an increase.
So we've never asked for 1 cent. So, I mean, all I can, from my perspective, I mean, these numbers aside, which I've looked at all this budget and stuff, if we're not running a business, but if we were running a business, that's a pretty good 18-year track record. And we've not encumbered anything on the county commission to have to shoulder. We've not encumbered anything on the citizens to try to have to shoulder. We manage through grants and programs like this that bring in money. So that's a good track record. Any business should be able to have that 18 years without asking for anything. That's a long time.
And if you get to them years where it's gonna get tight, guys, we have to take our belts up another notch.
Yeah.
And there'll be things that won't happen that year. I mean, we've been through a couple of years like that, but you know what? We made it. We made it. So,
Anybody, anything from anybody else?
Well, I'm just concerned that on paper, we're gonna have millions of dollars shortfall. Never have before, I understand that, but if it pans out like the paper says, we're in trouble.
well, keep in mind on the paper that your expenditures are escalated and they're high. And there's things on horizons that they can't put down on a piece of paper, hey, there's a possibility there's X amount of money coming from this, but they can't tell you that because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would pretty much tell you there's X amount of money coming next year, probably from the state, but how much? Is it $1? Is it $2 million? But I know there's something coming, but we don't know what.
When's this budget have to be passed?
We're gonna pass one tonight and send it to the county commission.
And if
And
they
if
reject
refuse
it,
They'll send it back to us.
I think they've got, is it October 1, or you get your blue ribbon if you get it June or something?
I don't know, June 30th is the date that's set by the state, and that's the certification that they get for passing the budget by June. The May 1st, is it the May 1st deadline, I believe, for you guys to send something to budget committee? And then from there, budget committee can turn it back to you all if they don't approve it, to send it on to the commission. But, of course, you have an automatic provision to go past June 30th into July, and then on further into August. But August is when your August end of August date would be where you would not want to go beyond, because that's when Department of Education can withhold funding if you try to go beyond without an approved budget with October.
So, Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
And I'm gonna put it out there, and y'all do what you want to. I wanna make a motion for option number 4, or option 3, whatever. I wanna make a motion, we run off a $38.1 million budget, the same budget we proposed last year, and, you know, make sure, you know, we should get our maintenance effort in that.
Mr. Randy, option 4 says 38.1 plus 2%.
I'm not even 2%.
Okay, you're saying.
Last year's budget.
The old budget, that's what I
Oh,
wanted
I'm
to read.
38.1.
no 2%, just.
No 2%.
Just a
Oh,
whole
we have to
budget.
go back and cut some more, go back and cut some more. I say we go 38.1.
I've got a second. Any more discussions?
I just want to add, I understand the track record, that's good, for sure, but these numbers don't add up, however you look at them, and hopefully it works out that they do. You know, I'll be all for it for sure, but that's a good, I can go along with
Okay.
what we're on, but I just don't see how it's gonna add up if we're 4 or 5 minutes short and do it 2 years in a row.
We'll just try it and see what happens. I'm gonna do a roll call. Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Hassan?
No.
Mr. Enoch?
No.
Mr. McCallum?
no.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
No.
Myself, yes. Well, we got 4 and 4 and it dies. Oh, we need to go further then. Does anybody else want to look at another one?
Well, I'll make a motion, we go to option 4, 38.12%.
I'll second it.
And Joel second that. Discussion.
I think we're gonna have to go lower. I don't think at 38.1 is where we need to be at. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I think.
Understood.
I mean, that's just my opinion, so.
I mean, everybody's here to voice their own opinion, right? Okay, well, that's, no more discussion, we'll do another roll call.
Which one we got? One-
38.1 with the 2%. Everybody understand that? Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Hess,
No.
Mr. Enid,
No,
Mr. McCallum,
No.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Manning,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald,
No.
myself, yes. We're still where we were. More discussion.
Let me ask the question here. And correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm not, because I've already checked in on this. If we was to propose a $38.1 million budget to the county commissioners, and they decided they didn't want to do that and send it back to us, and we cut nothing, and we submit a $38.1 million back to them again, and they don't think it's right, and they cut it, and it comes back to us a third time, and we submit a $38.1 million budget back to them again, and the deadline's running out, guess what budget you'll run off of next year? You'll run off the $38.1 million budget that you had this year, and I've already called and checked on it, and that's what happened. So why would I be willing to take less money than $38.1 million?
And I think if you do that 3 years, they have to self-adjust it.
And they'll have to self-adjust it. If you send it back to them 3 years, they'll have to be forced to self-adjust it.
Oh,
So
not that.
why would you wanna ask for less money?
because we're cutting in their general fund
It's
so
been
much.
18 years. The county ought to have to give us some money. They haven't given us no money in 18 years, Scotty. What's it gonna hurt the county to give us $1 million or $2 million if we need it? We've never asked them for a dime. Not a dime. Am I right or wrong?
Every year you put back fund balance money. Every year you sit here, every year you start, you look at this budget and you're like, oh, Lord, have mercy, $38.1 million. I guarantee you we'll come in under that. I would lay money right here, we come well under
I will too.
$38.1 million. Then that rolls back over to the fund balance. Now you're doing $38.1 million. I'll bet you, it might not be as much as it would be this time, but I'll bet you we won't even hit the $38.1 million next year. And you roll a little bit more money back over the fund balance, maybe more.
How are you gonna roll it back when you're taking it out?
The state gives you money on increments. They can't tell you what they're gonna give you, they can't, because you would hold them to, the state gives you money
Okay,
every year.
I understand that, but according to Ms. Norma, we're gonna hit the fund balance for $5 million. That'll come out of her mouth.
Well,
Okay,
for
when we take
beginning
that
budget,
out, and we're gonna add back how much?
I don't know, we
I
won't
mean,
go to the end of the year, it
if we're
could be
at two-
$2 million.
If we're 2 million under,
Well, you're $3 million under then,
no,
not five.
we hit it for 3 then. If we're 2 million under, we hit it for 3 instead of 5.
exactly,
Yes. So we were not adding it, we just didn't hit it for as much.
correct, but you still got it there, and that $2 million adds on, it buys you another year or two, guys. And remember, on these raises, guys, when we give these raises, we jump the gun on the raises. The state's gonna reimburse you these raises, I don't think it's till the year after next, but the state is gonna give you the money we've already given them for the raises. So whatever that was, 2-point-something million dollars, you're gonna get that back, not next year, but the next year. So there's always money coming back in from state, and trust me, I talked today, there's money coming from the state. Now, how much? Who knows? There's money coming.
Well, the other thing is just because if we pass a $38.1 million budget, that doesn't mean we're gonna spend it all.
No, that's right.
I mean, we have come, I mean, last year, y'all correct me if I'm right, that we come in under budget. I mean.
You've come in every year under budget.
So just because we put it in there doesn't mean we're gonna spend it.
You-
And it remains in the fund balance.
She made the statement, we've averaged 2 million under budget for the last 10 years, or 8, or several years, you said.
But last year was the first year we were asked to cut back the budget that we presented. If you remember, Justin Malden is the one that actually proposed the $38.1 million during negotiations, and that's what the county commission voted in. And because we were cut back, that's why the historical may not end up the same this year.
So we just, all we're doing basically is just adopting what they asked us to adopt last year.
Yeah.
Well, it was a 38.1, I just want to remind everybody, it was an appropriation,
Yeah.
which was really a blank, way to spend money. That was different than approving a $38.1 million budget. I just want to be clear so that y'all are all on the same page on that.
And then I came back and made the budget work for
Right.
that amount of money.
Right. So an appropriation was different than the budget.
So can I ask one question, sir?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Daisy, and I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I apologize if you don't have the answer, it's fine. But last time we met, we're running a $38.1 million budget right now. And we gave huge raises this time, which we're not giving next year. The last time we met, I think I asked you, and you said that we were running under budget right then. Do you know today, are we still under budget?
Well, I do know these budgets do have, in your revenue side, they do have March's revenue in them, and they do have your April payroll. So your largest expense for April is in there, so that's your payroll item.
Does that make sense to you though? Like last year, we gave that massive raise and we're not doing that this year. So if we're running under budget this year without including that raise,
Well, the raise is reoccurring.
Yes.
yeah, but I mean, as you said, we're gonna get that back from the state. So,
Yeah, you're gonna get it back from the state.
Yeah.
You got another year to wait for it.
yeah, but I mean, the government can't force that on us for that, formulating the plan to fund it. So just, I mean, it's coming back around. So it's not there, but it's coming back. So I guess my point is, if we manage to do that, and we're still under budget, as she told us the last time, and fellas, listen, I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's gonna happen next week or tomorrow, before I get home tonight, but all I can do, and I'm just talking about me, is look at these numbers and look at what we've done every year and look at the historical, track record of what has taken place. Anybody can argue that we should ask the county for an increase in what we get. Sure, that's fine, they can argue that, but I mean, we've got by all these years, we haven't asked them to do that. Doesn't look like we'd have to do that now. I certainly don't want to do that. And I don't want to do the 2%. I just want to leave it alone like it is and us run it. That's my opinion. Not ask for any more from the county, not ask for any more out of our fund balance, and let this other revenue return. I mean, I think you told us last time there would be revenue, you just didn't put the projection in there because you didn't have all the numbers yet. But historically, towards fall, we always, if the revenue starts coming in, it backs up what we're spending. I don't know. I mean, we've done it. And I'll look at it another way. I mean, why do we want to, like, beat ourselves because we've managed well? And like I say, there could be something extravagant happen, but we just go to the county commission and give them to do. I mean, they've always entertained the thought of us coming to them. It never has, I don't know of an amendment that we brought over there ever that y'all turned down. Do you? I don't know one. So, I mean, something could explode tomorrow. I don't know. But we made it fine this year on that dollar amount. We haven't asked anybody for anything more. We haven't taxed the citizens. Leave it alone. If it ain't broke, leave it alone. It's running.
So we're passing this budget to go to the
County commissioners.
county commissioners, correct?
The finance committee.
So the finance committee.
And then if they pass it, it'll go on to the commission for them to vote on.
But they'll review it all before they send it.
And they won't, if they'll either pass it or they'll send it back to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, because years ago, probably 2012 and 2013, I was up there just like Mr. English was pounding on the desk, we're running out of money, we're running out of money, running out of money. Guess what? We didn't run out of money. We didn't run out of money. Got low, but we didn't run out of money, and we didn't ask for no more money. I mean, one time we've asked for an increase, and that was around the 2007, 2008, because I was there that night when we asked for it. Rick, you was on the board before that. Y'all didn't have no money problems, did you? You always had money in the budget. Yeah, we got it. We got 15 cents, 10 cents or 15 cents, I think is what we got. But we needed it, and they graciously give it to us. But you also gotta remember, back then, guys, we was always getting our growth money. Every year, they would give us our growth money. Now, our growth money has stopped. That's another story. I ain't gonna get on that soapbox. Every year, we'd go to them, they'd give us our growth money. Hey, Penny brought in this. Hey, you know what? That's an extra $50,000. Give the school system. Of course, now what that does is they have to give it to you the next year because whatever they give you that year, they got to give you next year. We used to always get our growth money. Mr. Shoulders, you were sitting on there before I was when my father-in-law was director. You got your growth money. We got it up to a certain point. Then it stopped. And we hadn't had our growth money.
And how long?
How long? I'm going to say 2017, probably.
4 years, I
4
think.
years.
2020, yeah, 2020 maybe. But we always would get a growth, always got our growth money. Always. You wouldn't get a property tax increase, but you get your growth money, and that adds up over time. So, guys, I wouldn't ask for a penny less. I'd keep it at $38.1 million and pour it back to me. We have to go in there and cut some more, we go in there and cut a few more money out of the slots and make it work. And I'll tell you, boys, you're not gonna run out of money. I wouldn't let it scare me one year, but I'm telling you, I believe, unless a disaster happens, I believe we'll have some money left over, and we won't tap that $5 million. Matter of fact, I wouldn't mind here, write it on a piece of paper and seal an envelope, and y'all could hold it till after June the 30th over with, and see if I ain't with $200,000 closer than I think we're gonna have.
I bet you have to. But here's one thing that also, you know, we don't wanna, everybody worries about taxing the people in the community. We certainly do not want to, county commissioner, first of all, county commissioner's not gonna pass a bill that's gonna cause a tax on the community.
No,
That's
I
not
wouldn't
gonna
ask
happen.
for one.
I wouldn't. So nobody wants to do that. That's the reason I want to stay right where we're at, so that it doesn't endanger that or risk that or put them in place of that. But I mean, it's still gotta go past the finance committee first. Just because we pass one, that don't mean that's the end of it. It goes to finance committee and it'll either go or it'll come back and it'll go full blown, whichever. But I don't wanna ask for any kind of percentage increase. I just wanna leave it like it is. Let's see how it goes.
I appreciate everything that Tommy and all you guys have done. I wasn't here to vote last year on the budget. But we can be under budget this year and still be $4 million in the hole. And that's, I don't see how that can be good or right.
It just don't make sense.
It don't make sense.
If we can figure out how to get the money coming in another year, you know, it's not that big a deal. But now, if it don't, and we hit it for $4 million this year and 4 or 5 more next year, then that ship's done sailed and we're in a bind. I'm looking further down the road. I ain't talking about it right now. That's what I'm worried about. But if you'll make your first motion to do the 38-1, we'll send it, I'll vote to send it on.
Since it went
Second.
4-4, I can make that motion because nobody ever won or lost. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to stay with $38.1 million for the budget.
Second.
A motion and second. Any more discussions?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
so why would you change your mind? I'm just wanting to ask you, why would you change your mind?
Why would I change my mind?
Yeah,
Well, Tommy's right in what he's saying. If we send it and they send it back and we send it again, the best I understand is if we make it to September, we're gonna run on the 38-1. That's what it's gonna be. Well, let's send it to them and let the finance committee see what they have to say, and they might tell us something that we need to know, and we might decide to cut it. Might not, but you know,
might cut what?
but we've got to pass something. And right now, that's the best option on the table.
But the finance committee might ask us to cut what?
Just cut a
They
portion of the
might-
budget
they might ask
somewhere.
for $500,000 and send it back to us or something. and we can look at it, and if we see they're feasible, we might could cut it. If not, Marty, it's just like you said, you send it back
Send it
to
back
them,
in.
after 3 times, it's $38.1 million.
So you're really just, you're banking ahead all the time on asking for money, honestly.
No, I ain't asking for money. Uh-uh.
Well,
You're
you-
banking, you're gonna get more money every year as it comes in. Keep in mind, guys, pay raises are coming back fold. It's not coming in 2025, 2026, but the $2-point-something million you're getting back in 2026, 2027. Because that's when the governor's plan kicks in. We jumped the gun to try to get better teachers and stuff, and we footing the bill for 2 years for this.
So you really wouldn't have to take that money back. You could just go ahead and give it again, right, as a raise? As we did on our own?
I ain't going down that road.
Well, couldn't you? I'm just.
Yeah,
answer.
yeah, you could.
Oh, that's all I wanted to know.
I don't know about that. I mean, you could, I mean, yes.
That's what I'm asking. You could, right?
Are we assured that we're gonna get what the raise was, that amount, is the amount we're gonna get from the state? Or are they gonna have a different formula for figuring that out? I know there was a formula
Nobody
that
knows
the
about
lowest
that.
paid
Well,
teacher had to have a certain amount, but I don't know about all the other raises.
I don't know if it mattered about the rest of them.
That's gonna be hard to, you can't say, you don't know.
If it don't work like y'all are hoping it works, we're gonna be in a bind next year at this time.
And if it don't work, I'm telling you guys, if it comes out in a year or two and it don't work, and we set that fund back up, we'll have some hard decisions to make. I'm telling you, we'll have some hard decisions to make. The director of schools will be sitting there, and we're gonna say, we gotta have some heads, some jobs, so let's start seeing who we can cut. We got some programs we can't do. We're not spending nothing on the buildings this year. I mean, that would be some hard decisions to make. And the boards had to make them decisions sometimes. There's not no money to do a lot of capital outlay projects. You do the best you can to maintain what you got. But, yeah, they would be decisions we'd have to make. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't think we're nowhere close to making any of them decisions.
Let me ask a question real fast. If we're passing 38.1, that we're talking about right now, if we pulled those 6 items, Ms. Norman, remember those 6 items, $700,000 and all that, we pulled out of the proposed budget, we've already pulled, wasn't it, 2-point-something million?
Yeah, that was option 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we've already, out of the proposed budget, we've already pulled 2-point-something million out last time. Remember, if y'all remember, I asked her to reduce those 6 items. So all we're down to is back to what was proposed to us from the commission last year.
And you're gonna hit your fund balance hard this year, and you're probably gonna hit it hard next year, because there's some things in here that you've got 2 wellness gyms, guys, that we're fortunate to get them for what we got. So now we're gonna stick some money in the Save-A-Lot bill to get a Megatron. So you got 2 years, it'll eventually you ain't gonna have these capital outlay projects, hopefully.
You want discussion?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing. As a citizen, not a board member, so I'm gonna use my spot here. Spending is out of control in every form of government in this county. Every form. And I'm just one person and one vote, one speech or one saying, and I think every department in every part of this county could cut costs, including the school systems. And I know that's a dirty word and you don't like to hear that, but that's the reason I went along with the vote against. And I know that's just temporary stand, that's all it was, just a temporary stand. And I'm a taxpayer and I'm a landowner, and I'm feeling the pinch, I'm feeling my budget having to pay more out of my income to support. And I'm saying this, where are we gonna finally stop it, guys? I mean, is there a stopping point, Tommy?
I don't think so.
You say we're not gonna run out of money. I know we're not gonna run out of money, because you're paying off the taxpayers' backs.
Yeah, but every year, if you look historically, every year the budget goes up, guys.
It's never went up like it just did.
Yeah, now it went
Nope.
up this year, but hopefully we can put some back. It's probably gonna go up this year because you're finishing out your capital outlay, but eventually it's gonna have to stop and then fall right back in line. Now, is that with the CT students coming in, maybe we get them to the level 4? I don't know. Is it more state funding coming in? I don't know. I'm sure there's some coming. How much that figure? I don't know. But then you're right, there's probably Marty, you're 100% right. They'll come to a point somewhere that you're gonna have to say, hey, we gotta look at some things. We gotta tighten
That's
it
where I
up.
was,
We're gonna have to start.
that was my vote, my no vote, representation. But, I'm through, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
And I agree with
But,
you. It's just,
uh,
we're gonna have to pass something tonight.
we got,
I
we're
get
going
it.
to have to
I'm not
pass
against it.
something.
No, I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Finance committee, because Mr. Mullins not gonna walk in there and say, well, they're not gonna do anything, they're just gonna leave it like, I mean, they're just not gonna vote on anything, and he's got to have something to present to his committee.
Which I want to correct, budget committee is who will get y'all's budget, not the financial management committee. So budget committee, I'm not on budget committee.
Oh, okay, all right, correct me. I correct myself. So it goes to budget, okay. Now, everybody's heard, we're voting on a 38.1 to be sent to the budget committee. They
You say
can
plus
either
two?
approve it or
No,
send it back
no,
to us, and we start again. 38.1. You understand that, Marty?
No increase.
Pardon?
No
No,
increase.
this is the same thing it was last year.
Okay.
This is just to
Nothing's
get something in front of the budget committee.
Yes, sir. Pardon?
Yes.
What did you say?
Okay. This is just get something in front of the budget.
This is getting
committee.
something in front of the
Okay.
budget
Yes.
committee. Yes, sir, yes, sir.
We can sit
Okay.
here all night the other way.
Oh,
Yeah, oh, yeah, we'll
That's
be,
true.
we'll be here till, breakfast time, so.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Mitchell just asked me, and I want to make sure that we're clear, within the 38.1, are you all essentially appropriating 38.1 and going to leave it to her discretion to figure out where that is? Or are you wanting the 38.1 spent in the line items that it's in currently this year? Do you all understand what I'm saying?
To me, she's gonna have to move it around. I don't know whether we leave it, because some of these things you might not need money in. So I think it would,
So it's an appropriation.
yeah, you're gonna have to move it.
Some things we won't need it in next year.
Yeah, some things you won't need it in.
Are we done with the gym down here?
Is the
middle
gym down
school?
here done?
Are we done?
Waiting on permits still up in here, pretty much.
Do we have much money left to pay on it, I guess is the
We're
point.
about done on it, man, just done.
We got very little left to pay, maybe, I'm trying to think about not saying the PO, what we've already got POs for, maybe 250 left just to pay out. Purchase orders are already made on that.
I'm just wondering.
Okay, we're gonna do another roll call. Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Tessa.
I'd say yes, get in front of them.
Mr. Enid.
Yes.
Mr. McCallum.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Manning.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
No.
Myself, yes. This passes, so this will be presented at a $38.1 million, and same as last year, will be presented to the budget committee. Okay, let's go further. Next thing is discussion, and it's with Miss Daisy Denton and Central Finance. Floor's open.
Sorry, I was making sure, I thought I saw central cafeteria budget up there.
It was voted on before.
I got you. So I sent ahead, the financial reports, the financial statements, they're dated for April. Normally I would only date them for the month that I have received all the information from the church building, it could be March. But because April payroll had already run, I went ahead and run through April, so you would have the most current information in front of you. I don't know if this is a report you guys were used to reviewing in the past. The reason I'm sending them to you is I have a requirement on my office, as being centralized, that I provide you with these reports monthly on my own. So, is a summary financial statement, is that something I can ask that you guys have normally reviewed? There's 1,000 reports in our system that I'm sure y'all are used to reviewing before. I know we're finding working with
different ones in the school system, everybody comes to a different report. I can explain what you have in front of you. You're gonna have your budgeted estimates in the first column, your year-to-date actuals. And in your year-to-date actuals, you're going to have also any outstanding purchase orders that we have already issued would be included as a year-to-date actual. Now, sometimes they don't spend all of their PO. They might get it on a larger estimated amount. When a bill comes in, we may liquidate down. So some of those aren't exact, but it doesn't go ahead and include that and encumber it against your year-to-date balances. So if you see some of those that the percentages are odd, it may be because they have a yearly PO for something out there. And then if you look on the expenditure side, starts on page 2, you're gonna see in the month to date, which is the next to the last column, that's gonna show you your month to date actual expenditures. I see some looking like they don't have them. Tracy, do you know where you put those numbers?
I don't know what she's talking about.
The 2-page.
Just the 2-page.
Some funny facts.
It's very bad, third sideways.
Sorry. We need to go back through this thing.
Go ahead.
So these are the normal monthly reports that I'll be sending you out for each fund, 141, 142, and 143. You're not gonna see anything in revenue right now in that month to date column for April because we will not actually record those until Julie's finished in the trustee's office for the month. She'll send us up the reports and we'll post all of those. You may see some in 143 and 142 posted along the way. Sometimes those are posted individually along the way.
So Ms. Denton, you're saying that each month you'll have this for us, correct?
Yes, and you're receiving it right now by email. If you've not noticed, I don't know how often everybody checks their board email as far as that. I'm using your school emails for sending these to you monthly. I've been doing those if you ever want to go back and look and see what I've sent in the past, if you haven't been reviewing them. But I don't mind submitting them to you guys to try and get in a packet for you. Just know that if I haven't gotten the trustees reports and I send you as of the end of the month, it may say zeros until I can get those numbers entered. It's all just a timing thing between me and her closing out the months and getting that information back and forth between our offices.
But to be repetitive, at the current time, we're still operating under budget.
Yeah, so I looked, you know, this is what Norman and I both have been doing for each respective party, you know, as far as county and schools over the years. And I looked ahead, I looked and run an estimating ending fund balance. And so if you look back in the back of each one of your budgets, I did update those numbers. I don't know if you all knew that. On the very last page of each one of your budget options, you see a column on the left-hand side that gives you a fund balance number. So I did update your prior year ending encumbered fund balance. That 10.9 was the previous year. And then you had a prior year ending fund balance FY24 of 11.4. So if that helps you all at all to know, and I did run out some estimates, some forecasts on revenue and expenditure for the rest of the year. And the way I calculate those is I take the current cash balance of the trustee as of today, and then I look at an estimate of going off of prior years and maybe what's not going to be repetitive, things you did last year, you're not going to do again this year. For the rest of this month, May and June, you don't have that in front of you. I actually printed off right below it. I thought I'm going to take that in case somebody asks me. And your current cash balance of trustee is 13.8 million, just so you know where you're at today. That's after the April payroll has already come out. Of course, you've not collected the revenue for April yet that you will collect. That comes in a little later in the month. And then I run out just forecasting out for May and June, estimating out expenditures. And I'm getting an estimated ending fund balance of 10.9.
10.9.
So that's just my estimate. That's me not knowing. That's me assuming you're gonna do something similar to what you did last year. And, you know, I don't know. There could be plans that they have in place to spend things that I don't know they're gonna spend that's not gonna line up with what last year was. But I'm looking at your current payroll amounts, and I'm looking at, you know, historical spending, that kind of thing. They may jump in there with something that makes that number be 9, and then they may not spend as much, and it may be 11. You know, it's kind of one of those things that you don't always know.
But you say your estimate is what right now?
10.9 to end in jump in there if
So
y'all
you're
have
saying we're only
something.
gonna hit fund balance at about $500,000?
Roughly. That's just,
If you're correct.
It don't make,
Well, even
I
if a
mean,
million or two million.
You guys know a
Lot
lot more
better than
about what
five,
you have in plan
but
as
we didn't know,
far as
you
the outside
know.
payroll.
That's awesome.
we're working on what information we're handed. It shows 5.
And I'll continue to run those numbers down to the end of the year. I do it for all funds. I've not done it for
We're gonna be
schools in the
short.
past, so I may find myself.
We're
getting
not there as
my
much as
feelings
she's
hurt
saying.
if, you know,
According
if I
to
come
her.
up wrong, but I will
We might-
definitely
she
share
might not know
whatever,
everything.
whatever I get with you along the way. And I can add that into your 14 monthly from now to the end of the year.
So say that one more time, just so that everybody hears that real clear.
Well,
We're
I
gonna
don't know
hit
if I want them to hear it real clear, then my
No, I
number
mean,
come back and
just-
be inaccurate based on.
No, I know, but we're all talking about historically and what could, or the largest two-letter word in the dictionary, which is if.
Yeah.
You know, if this building doesn't explode tonight before we leave, or whatever. But right now, we're still operating on a budget. Your estimate, best guess estimate, based on historically and the way we've run this year so far and everything, we're not even gonna hit fund balance for what we thought we were going to. It's gonna be less.
What are the figures? Like I said, I'll run them 1,000 times and think I've run myself crazy trying to see, okay, if I'm missing anything, but.
You know, and you have to adjust that every month and every 2 weeks and whatever it comes out from trustees' office. I mean, there's not you can't snatch a magic number out of your pocket, but that's what I'm saying. It's not as bleak as, you know.
Where are we doing so much better than we thought?
I don't know if I have pinned that down yet. I really haven't gotten that far into it to try and look for that, necessarily, nor an idea to tell you where you're understanding.
Because we was cut so hard, good reason we cut out a lot of things that we didn't,
From where you cut your budget.
that we probably need. Somebody,
Same thing we did this year, Doc. I mean, there was $2 million, or a little over $2 million in that first budget presentation that we cut out the last meeting we had. So that's how we're landing better. We're cutting, you know, we cut, from what Mr. Malden and the committee brought to us last year, that's, you know, this 38.1, which is where we ended up at. And we've been cutting all year long with little things that we haven't spent, so we're under budget. We started out, higher than that over here, what was that, 2 weeks ago, or whenever it was, and took $2 million, a little bit better than that off of that night. And so now we're not even, you know, there was a lot of back and forth about adding 2% or 3% or whatever. And we backed off of that tonight. No percent increase, no raise, no nothing. Just 38.1 like we did last year, and we're still coming in the budget. So that's, a lot of that is how we fall under budget, is cutting as we go. Like we immediately cut $2 million overnight right off the bat.
I have a question if y'all are finished. So, the other night on camera, it was quoted by Justin Malden that there was a 143 payroll mix-up because the forms had not been sent by the board. And I want you to address that.
Yes, so Stephanie and I have actually been talking about that today. The information was sent, it was just the wrong payroll employee had the information. We were able to get that straightened out. That brings up a good point of, you know, we're centralized, we have the policies and procedures that allow our office to make a payroll schedule for turning in payroll. It allows us to require certain forms to be filled out to make changes to payroll, among other things. And as of now, we've still not achieved compliance with getting payroll turned in. Now, it's not something.
What does that mean?
So,
Compliant, who's not compliant?
basically, I just asked Alicia to put together a schedule for us that would not ask for the payroll to be turned into her any quicker than it would when she was doing payroll at the Board of Education. Just, you know, but I need you to send it to them to let them know. That is just not something that we've ever had agreement on. As of right now, I don't want to speak for Mr. Smith. I'm sure he'd prefer to speak up for himself.
Tracy's got some documentation. Would you pass that out for me, please, some correspondence? So I'd like to sort of give you all a background of where the board is coming from here. So So on December the 9th, Alicia sent Amanda Jenkins, Daisy Denton, and Christy Glover an email that you're about to get that says she would like to see the payroll documents by the first business day of each month. And I responded to Daisy that that was impossible, that one business day wasn't enough time, and that just wasn't efficient for us, because Amanda Jenkins, who does our payroll, is already taking home the work to get it done in the couple of days that it takes her to get done. So one business day, we felt like, was not enough time. And then if you go to the second page of reference on December the 9th, Daisy emailed me back and said that if there was an issue, to let her know that we would put it on the Financial Management Committee meeting. So I showed up at the Financial Committee meeting on I believe the date was January the 9th, and I asked Daisy for 5 business days. And her response to me was that she would take the 5 business days back to her employees and discuss it. So I thought when the financial management meeting was meeting last week, there was going to be some negotiations between 1 business day and 5 business days. There had been some correspondence. So when we were there on January the 9th, Mr. Smith had said, you know, he is the leader of this organization and he wants to see the timesheets. So he suggested that night that, yes, timesheets can be sent to them, but they would need to organize it and compile it into a notebook and bring it back to us, just like we are doing for them. And he gets an email then on March the 3rd, and you have that email, and Daisy is commending Mr. Smith that it was a great idea, says that there, but she says, I will be happy to send you disbursement journals. And I emailed her back and I said, Daisy, what's a disbursement journal? Can you show me an example of what you're talking about that you're going to be sending Mr. Smith? So if you go to the next page, it has employee 1, employee 2, and employee 3. Y'all see this? This is an example of a disbursement journal. So Joe Taylor, look at that disbursement journal. Tell me how many days employee 1 missed.
I can't see.
Okay, Tommy, can you see it?
How many days employee 1 list?
Or did she leave early, or?
I don't see it.
Okay, so again, this is what the correspondence that we have. So you send us the timesheets, and this is what we'll send you back. And Mr. Smith told me to let Daisy know that it was not going to work this way, that he wanted to see the timesheets, the actual documents.
And I'm not signing
and sign
time
off.
sheets before they work for y'all or for anybody else. It's illegal. You know, I'm not doing it. Just so that y'all know.
And then the email on the next page, March the 4th, is where I emailed her back, and I said, Mr. Smith says we will just keep the current process for payroll so he can review the actual timesheets for each employee. The suggestion of the Financial Management Committee was that principals and supervisors could send the timesheets directly to county payroll, but in turn, we would give the timesheets back in an organized format, such as the notebook we currently send to you. And then, I'm sure you all watched the Financial Management Committee meeting last Thursday night. If you didn't, you need to. It came across as we were non-compliant. We were not getting our payroll sheets there by the first business day of the month. And it's because we can't. We physically cannot get them there. The payroll timesheets come to this office the last day of the month and some on the first day of the month. Amanda Jenkins takes 200 plus employees' timesheets, plus sick leave from the other 300, and organizes that into a notebook by school, certified, non-certified, takes it home at night to get it done, and then Mr. Smith reviews it. And they're asking for 1 business day. So I just wanted it to be explained on both sides. That, yes, we are in non-compliance because we've been told we have 1 business day. We've not been asked, what can you manage? We asked for 5 days. They want 1.
Well, let me ask a question. When we used to do payroll, paid it here ourselves, how many days did we have?
Well, they still try to get to the bank by the 10th day. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, how many days would it take a year to do it, to do our payroll. If we was running our payroll ourselves the whole
You said a
way,
week.
how many days did we need? 3 days, 4 days? What did we need?
Probably 5 days.
5 days?
Alicia received them on the same day we asked for in the schedule when she was here.
Alicia did not ask for her to get it any sooner than it was done when she was in this building.
And just to.
When did she get it? Second day of the month, third day of the month, fourth day of the month?
Amanda Jenkins, this last time, she didn't get them until the 4th because we were out for the storms on the 3rd and she didn't drive in that day to get them completed. But they've been getting to the finance office generally by the 3rd business day of the month, and last month it was, or this time it was the 4th day. When was the storms? Whenever the storms were. Okay, so she said, she told me, she said, I had to drive in that day to get them to them because I didn't want to get out. But we are in non-compliance, and that's why. And that's why I want you guys to know this side of the story also.
I don't think you still answered the question.
Tell me.
When we done it here, how many days did it take us to get it? I guess we had to send it to the county to get the check. We
said
didn't
when
put
we
the
got
check.
time sheets and stuff, it
Was it
had
like
to-
2 days? I mean, Amanda, she did it the first day of the month, but we didn't start paying them the first day of the month. did
No,
we?
it was still the 10th.
Okay,
Either way you
that's
go,
what-
it's still the 10th.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
And that the bank is required, from Daisy says she's checked on it also, that it's required to get the information to them.
So, yeah, I can see the point. What day each?
I just want to say for the record, and Mr. Enoch was at the meeting, when we discussed payroll, I said, you know, Daisy's willing, and she said, and this was mentioned in the meeting, she's willing to work with that. If we, is it 2 days, is it 3 days? That's mentioned in the meeting, was it not, Mr. Enoch? You know, do we need to adjust that and somehow meet in the middle, you know, with it? We just we've got to get some cooperation with that. When payroll was done before, at least for what Alicia does, she would get it from the principal sent directly to her. Now it's going through a middleman process that's slowing it down. That's part of what the issue is. The process is not the same. Alicia, as the payroll administrator, is not receiving timesheets in the same manner that she did before. The process has shifted. And I understand completely the director wanting to sign off on timesheets. He should be doing that.
Well, whoever the director is over here, I'm gonna tell you right now, they better be looking at time sheets, and it causes you to wait half a day, that's tough. I
Well-
want them time sheets accurate.
No, I
Whoever
agree.
sitting in that
I
chair regularly
agree.
does.
But also, so y'all know, it has also happened where principals have CC Alicia on accident and sent her the payroll, you know, at the end of the business month as well. So, you know, it could be done a little different to help facilitate, or if we want to set it at 2 days or 3 days, you know, again, working with you guys is fine.
That's not how you presented it Thursday night.
I know, but what's wrong with the 5 days? That's what I'm
That's what we can.
what we asked.
Huh?
So we
What's
can-
wrong with the 5 days?
What's wrong with the 5th day of the month?
Miss Daisy,
Whatever day
what's wrong with
adds
the
on.
5 days?
Well, I'm much like they are. Whenever we don't receive it till much later, it causes a backlog for our employees to try and get it done, and they're also taking things home when we get it late.
We need to cooperate more with them, get in the middle somewhere where everybody's happy.
Yes, we've not been given that choice.
And I know from talking with Alicia, there was times when she was here that she had to take things home with her to get it done.
Well, what do you need to make it work? And you're not gonna get it in one day, what do you need to make it work?
I just I need to know when it's coming, and I need to be able to set a schedule for that so that my employees know what to expect to get the job done.
2 days? 2 days gonna help you, 3 days?
Doesn't have to
Alicia
take
here?
2 days, Doc.
Is that
It's
Alicia
a
girl
storm.
here?
Yes, somebody-
Is that Alicia
She's
girl
not
here?
here.
I don't know
Or
her.
what if Mr. Smith, one month he was at a school over a safety issue, the day he was supposed to sign it, he got signed the next morning.
Well, what we said, they just want days, what we said in 3 days. 3 days, you gotta have it set to me. Better than what you're getting now, I guess.
3rd business day?
I don't know, Scotty, you said the 4th or 3rd, why not the 3rd business?
Can-
I know, but will that work for us?
I don't know.
Well, right now you got 1 day, don't you?
Well, we're taking compliance, we're not getting it there in one
They
day.
send it, and we're just doing the
No
best we
other
can
county
with it.
department gets that kind of time, just. going
Say that
there,
again.
you know.
But we're the biggest employer of this county.
Yeah.
I understand.
Let's stop right there then. We don't rack us up against other
Yeah,
places.
no.
Yeah.
That's not a
No
reason to slow
comparison
it down, though.
whatsoever.
That's a reason to speed it up.
But when you got a whole lot more people to enter,
Payroll is our priority, just
Yeah.
like it is y'all's, so, you know,
We are entering it from our office.
yes.
That's the process that we are doing, is the payroll is actually performed in our office.
Can you go with the 5th day of the month? No matter what day it falls on?
It's a moving target a little bit on that, because your payroll date, if your payroll date on the 15th falls on a weekend, we need to pay the employee the day early to get it on the 14th. So your
But the
payroll
10th
date-
won't change if it's gotta be the bank by the 10th.
We would be glad to say by the fifth business
I don't
day
know.
of the month.
It's gotta go by business days, I think, instead of a hard
Yeah.
date, because you may have Martin Luther King, they may have a holiday, Christmas.
I just like to see 'em.
Fifth day of the, you know,
To me is if you have to work extra to get it there, it might fall for her, and then later it might fall on her to work extra to get it back out.
right, so,
I don't know. I just like to see them come to agreement and
right.
that be settled.
Needs to
That's
be
all.
settled.
Yes, sir.
Instead of 5 business days, because you gotta remember, if the first falls on a Saturday, Sunday, you lose 2 calendar days, okay, right off the bat. Instead of it being 5 business days, you know, into the month, can it be 5 business days before the 10th? That way, they always have 5 days to do payroll.
Then we lose it off of our end.
Yeah,
So it's either way you go.
that's not exactly fair. Either, I think it's the 5th, or they gotta have at least 4 business days, and that way y'all get 4 business days. Most likely, unless there's a holiday.
We can live with that.
No.
Yeah.
That's as fair as you gonna get it.
Yeah,
because
to
anything
me,
can
that's
back
pretty
it
fair
up.
right there.
But they have to change policy or we're still in non-compliance.
Again, guys, think about this. If you say 5 business days, you get it, you know, the first falls on a Saturday, that first business day is the 3rd. That means they're not submitting it until the 8th, and it's due to the bank on the 10th, which is a Sunday.
We're saying 4 now.
So, that's still.
Now, you're saying
again,
4
that's-
business days,
That's what I'm
correct?
gonna
We
say,
could.
but if you do 4 business days, again, the first falls on a Saturday, Sunday's the 2nd, business day 1 is the 3rd, business day 2 is the 4th, business day 3 is the 5th, that's the 6th. Again, the 10th is gonna fall on a Sunday, you're giving payroll 2 days.
Well, Mr. Malden, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you do a little back and forth with us? We're trying to work with you.
No,
I'm talking right
And you
now.
got a banking background, you got a lot of really good ideas, you got a banking background.
Listen,
Yes, I
Do
do.
you?
you're gonna have to work with us
I like to
some
sit down
too.
here
We're
and-
trying to.
Well,
But
I
we
invite
can,
each of the board members to watch that
yeah,
meeting
we
Thursday
can,
night.
yeah, I've already watched it.
Go back and
I
watch
don't
it if you
appreciate
haven't.
You're supposed to be there. Why aren't you there?
I'm still on the floor to do what?
You were supposed to be there, you
That's why I
wasn't
wasn't there, and it's a HIPAA violation for me to tell you what it was, so I ain't
there.
applied to
A
it.
year in a row. Go
But,
ahead.
well, me and you can talk about it anytime you want to.
After the meeting, be fine.
We can do it in an executive session if we need it, but y'all gotta meet us halfway. Now, what if we have a storm in there somewhere, just like that girl, you want one of our employees to drive in that, no electricity or something? 4 days is what he asked for, what's wrong with that?
I understand, and I apologize, y'all, if I'm coming off rude or anything, I will apologize. But on those months, because that won't happen every month, right? The first won't fall
No,
on
it won't,
Saturday every
so-
month, but sometimes it will. And can we get leeway in those months? That's what I'm asking.
And sometimes it will be that they maybe.
Well, why could in that situation, we work together, it's all we should be doing anyway, we felt that way.
Yeah, maybe some months, Miss Daisy and some of her bunch are out sick, and they say, listen, we may need it a little bit earlier, and we try to give you some elbow room to get it earlier. Maybe some months it's on our end, and we say, listen, y'all, I'm sorry, but could we get a little elbow room? The whole point of it is, just, I mean, Lord have mercy, just work it out. I mean, if he says 4 days, let's take 4 days, and then work with that. Some months we might have to adjust. I mean, just work together.
I assure you, we want it off our plates just as quickly.
Yeah.
As soon as the first of the month hits, we're working and working and working and working to get it sent. We're not holding at all.
How many business days do you need normal, please?
Wish Amanda was here to help me answer. We could make 4 business days work.
How many do you need minimal?
It's going to be different in business days each month.
I
depending on
understand
the
that, but it's 4,
I mean,
a good number with you?
I will work with whenever I get them. I mean, at this point, we're supposed to set a schedule and, you know, and that's
how it's supposed to go. But that's not what we're getting, so we're having to go with it, so,
Well, What,
you know.
let me ask the question, do you not have enough employees to do this?
No, I have the same number of employees working on your payroll that was working on it when it was being done.
I thought maybe you might be short employees that you weren't be able to do this.
No.
Miss Daisy, why don't you know what days, you know the future as far as dates go. Why don't you go in and say, you know, in October, we're gonna need it on this day, which may be a couple of days earlier. And then later on in November, you may have a little extra room and say, well, you can give it to us on the 5th, or why don't you come up with a schedule for them to follow?
Well, that'd be a schedule up now.
Yeah.
I agree with Mr. Green.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
What's 4 days? I mean,
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
nothing right now.
Right.
Which say, hey, we're gonna give you 4 business days, and you might have to come back in a month or two and say, hey, 4 business days don't work, guys, got to 3.
Yeah.
Or 4 business days might work fine.
Or call it the 5th of the month, whatever day it is.
I mean, put something like
However it
that.
falls, it falls. I mean, we need to agree on something, and we might have to come back and look at it again, but
Yeah, agreed.
we're
Yeah.
not agreeing on nothing right
But we
now.
got to get it in compliance. See, we're not in compliance.
Well, they have to pass the policy or procedure for it to be in compliance. Right now, we've been told 1 business day.
But it has to be to the bank by the 10th. By the 10th.
And you think you gotta have at least 4 days to get there. Does the 10th count as a day?
Is it the 10th business day or the 10th day?
10th day of the month.
10th day of the month.
That's when it's gotta be in the bank by.
The simple thing is, just talk to banks and we can extend it back 2 days.
And if there's a bank holiday, we have to move our day. Like, we don't get to, we don't get to have an extra day because of the holiday.
Can I make a motion, or are we voting on this?
No, I just wanted the
No,
board
we
to
just,
know.
everybody's pretty well agreeable on 4 business days, correct?
Let's try 4 like you said, and if it
Yeah.
doesn't work out, we'll.
I agree with what Steve says, 4 business days, and let it go at that.
We don't want it to be on public, TV, just like it was with them, then it was their fault because we're not in compliance. To know, the board to know what was going on.
Both want 5. We'll go with 4 and see if it'll work.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, we'll have to change it. Daisy or whoever come back and tell us it's not working.
But now, remember, we didn't ask for this.
But, and
We
I'm
did
sure
not
y'all
have
do,
this.
don't you go ahead, whenever you get like the sheriff's departments or waste department, you could go ahead and process theirs. It'd be
Yeah,
ours that have to go to
that's
the
a
tail
different
end.
person, that's a different person
Oh,
that's
different
handling that,
person.
and they're required to submit theirs to us by 10 a.m. the day following the end of the pay period. All
But
of your departments.
how many employees does the sheriff's department have?
Well, you're looking at 200 to 300 over the rest of the county, and all of them submitted by 10 a.m.
So everyone over the
One
county, you've
person
got
does.
200 to 300 employees
Yeah,
versus our 500,
I would
correct?
have to look to be sure that's correct. But you gotta remember, all of ours are gonna have timesheets by and large.
Yeah, but that's not comparing apples to apples.
No.
When you got
That's true.
the whole county, 200 to 300, and we got 500,
And
that's
you guys
just
have a
not
lot with
comparing apples
salaried
to apples.
employees that don't
Right,
have timesheets.
right.
Well, can we get the salary, or what does that even matter? Cent? Because that's not gonna change.
No salary, no raises.
I mean, the salary every month, whatever that is, that number's not gonna change. So, I mean, it shouldn't be any problem sending it on earlier if you know. I don't know how many people that
Go to
is.
his time sheets.
Even salary people?
No,
Oh.
that's what they're gonna receive,
Yeah.
time sheets.
But what Scotty's saying is they could go ahead and have the salary and load it up a day or
Yeah.
two ahead before they get to.
That's
ours.
what he's saying,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying, yeah.
Right.
Ain't no problem with that.
There shouldn't be a problem with
So
that.
we all go agreement on 4 business days, and then
If it don't work,
your,
come back.
Mr. Ball and your department will have to pass that to make it in compliance, am I correct?
Well, the way that the policy reads, it's financial management committee that does it.
Okay.
And so it would have to be an adoption of the financial management policy procedures in the county. So it would have to go through that committee. As that policy currently reads, as was adopted by the committee, it is payroll procedures and the deadlines are set by the payroll administrator. That's how the policy currently reads.
Yeah, I got one, Joe.
Okay, let's go on. We got that, anything else y'all wanna ask Ms. Denton before we go on? If not, we got annual policy reviews for April, I hope you had a chance to look at that. Next thing is executive session. Ms. Moore, do you have anything for executive session?
No, sir.
You do not. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank goodness.